One, two, three.
Welcome to Off the Rails,
a podcast where we talk about anything and everything while trying to stay on topic. I'm Natasha.
I'm Justin.
And today's topic is what's wrong with high school?
There are many things wrong with high school.
I would have to agree with that statement. So, what do you think? Oh, since we're actually on spring break right now, so what do you think is wrong with high school? Just remembering what that was like.
Honestly, I think the weeks before any break gets a little too stressful.
That is so true.
But also, like, if you think about it, starting from freshman year to sophomore year and junior year, the workload in every single grade just gets exponentially harder for no reason.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense because we're juniors and we are starting to do college stuff now, and then also maintaining good grades and also taking the SAT, and some people taking the ACT. And yeah, it's been really hard. So we're in spring break right now, and the week before that is dubbed Hell Week by people in our school because apparently it's like the worst week and
so bad.
The workload is so hard and everyone's just burning out.
I think a lot of students are burning out because of all the work they have to do. Like, think about kids in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're done. They're over it. They want to, like, be finished. And I get it.
Yeah, because also most people in the U.S. are on Zoom. They're doing school on Zoom. And I would feel so unmotivated to do anything if I was still on Zoom because we were on there for a few months last year, and it was awful. Nobody paid attention in class. And, well, not nobody paid attention in class, but obviously it was less rigorous and, less people, like, more people were less willing to do work in class. Yeah.
And especially, I don't know why, but junior year has been so bad for me. Like,
yeah, me too.
Everything just feels like I have to do well to get into college, or if I don't, I'm going to fail. And that whole stress of, like...
It's definitely a lot more stressful.
Yeah, because everything counts now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean...
Not that it didn't count before, but now it counts even more.
And I think the workload itself is just so much worse because of APs. You have so many APs. You have tests you have to look out
Exams.
for. And it's just... Everything has become a routine nowadays. And it's like, I go to school, learn a bunch of information, and go home, struggle to actually understand the information. Because to be honest, I really don't understand much when I'm in school. Mm-hmm. And when I get home, that's when I actually try to understand.
Doing the work outside of school counts a lot more
than actually being in school, which doesn't make sense. I don't understand why that's what it is, but
it is that way.
I know, but it's just, I feel like everyone's day is just school. Mm-hmm. Like 24/7.
Well, that is true since it's 7 hours.
That's true.
Obviously, it's most of our day, Justin.
But even after school, all you think about is, I have to understand this, but I don't. And then you start like freaking out that you don't understand it. You get stressed. You go back to school to learn even more information. Mm-hmm. And it's just this constant cycle of stressing out and getting tired of trying to understand things.
Everybody, even when we're not in school, we're stressing about school. There's never a point in time where I feel like I'm not thinking about school.
Which is so sad.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we can't have a weekend where we don't think about what's due next week.
Yeah. Or
what tests we have in the next month or something.
Yeah, literally on my way to here, I was like, oh, I have bio things I need to finish. And I'm like, it's spring break. Why am I worrying about bio?
True. Everybody's telling us to study. All of our teachers are saying, because we are taking AP classes, and everyone's saying, all of our teachers are saying, you need to start preparing for these exams. And I'm struggling to want to do it because it's spring break, you know?
There's just such an importance, and everyone stresses like doing work. Mm-hmm. And like school is your only, like, the only thing you got, so you have to make sure you're good at it, right? Mm-hmm. And like there's definitely for at least our school, there's definitely a culture where it's like you're not allowed to fail, you're not allowed to mess up, you're not allowed to do bad. And it's so bad, like especially grade wise, and everyone is just like, oh my gosh, I got an A. What did you get?
Yeah, everybody wants to know, stick their noses in everybody's business, you know.
I'm like, can you just not?
I mean, sometimes I wonder, why are you asking me? Because I have had so many people after so many tests, like, you know, they'll ask, like, how do you think you did? Or whatever. But then afterwards, when you get it back, everybody wants to know everybody's grades. And I'm just here, like, I'm not, how does my grade affect
That's what
you?
I'm saying.
Why are you asking me?
Honestly, I think it's like school itself is a competition, and these people are just like staking out the competition.
Yeah.
And it gets so annoying when you say you did bad and you don't want to say it, and then they keep prying and they're like, but like you can just tell me what you got, tell me. And I'm like, I literally just said I didn't do well and I don't want to talk about it. Why do you keep asking?
I make a conscious effort personally to not say when I do well, because I know how it feels when I don't do bad or don't do well, because I have definitely not done well in some of my tests before, some of my exams. So I don't like telling other people just because I know what that feels like and how crappy that feels.
And a lot of people really don't consider the fact that when you say I got an A plus or I got an A, right, as your opening, like they really don't care about the other person and what they got. Like they kind of just want to gloat about what they got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get it. You can solve 2 + 2 = 4. 1984 type beat. But like I get it. You can solve math. You can do that. And I can't. Like my math skills
Good
terrible,
for you.
right? I'm like, good for you. Yeah. Like, but why do you have to come to me after every test and tell me exactly what you got and then expect me to return the favor? Like that doesn't make any sense, and I don't want to. But I don't know. I just think school itself is already so stressful, and competition, especially in school, is so bad because everyone's trying to get into college, and like your peers are your competition. Like they are who you're gonna be.
Yes.
Like going against.
Competing.
And everyone like there's such a bad like emphasis on getting into college and making sure you got into a quote unquote good school. And I'm like, what is a good school?
True.
Like, and everyone does everything for college, and it just makes me so angry.
Yeah, sometimes well, we're definitely players in this game.
What are you talking about?
Where I know some people in school, we're all stressing about grades, and obviously grades are really important when we're applying to schools for college. And, you know, sometimes we also do other stuff, like you have to do extracurriculars to get into U.S. schools because everybody wants to go there, in our school at least. And sometimes people just want to do stuff just for it to look good on their college application. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can list a few people.
Well, we won't gaslight anybody here.
Yeah, but no. A lot of people definitely at our school do like charity clubs, and they're like, wow, I love doing charity, but they also say like, it looks good on my college app, which it does, but I think it's just morally incorrect to actually do something for other people only for your benefit, which
but I guess it's kind of okay because it's like a symbiotic relationship. You're both standing, you both have something to gain from, you know, being in a club. Like, oh, I look better on my college application and I'm helping other people.
No, but when people don't even have the slightest bit of passion for their club, like, or like they aren't even thinking about helping other people, like that's not their focus. Their focus is making themselves look good. I think that's where the issue is.
Yeah.
And there's definitely, I feel like a lot of people in our school are like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that, but what can you do? We are talking about all these issues, and it's also kind of funny because we think all these things are wrong with high school, but we don't do anything to change it, or we feel like we can't change these things about high school, you know?
I think that there are many things about high school that's literally just tradition. Like,
Yeah.
like for example, like having a bunch of groups within high school, like the social class
The
of high
cliques,
school,
yeah.
is tradition. Like I feel like if you go to any high school, there will be some sort of
Social
class.
hierarchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know. For our school, I feel like it's pretty bad.
That's true. I'd have to agree with that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like having, popular people, it's just kind of weird. Like I would say that neither either of us are not really very popular, or we wouldn't consider ourselves very popular. But just looking from the outside in, I just think it's kind of weird how, okay, this is just my opinion, but I think it's just kind of weird how all of them just kind of hang out together and then they don't really talk to other people except for a select few. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the definition of popular is so weird because popular
Mhm.
means like if you think about it, you would think it means having a lot of
Friends.
friends,
Yeah.
but that's not what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of more, I feel just for me personally, it's like what I've seen. I used to like go to, we've both been at different schools. It's not like we've been at our school for
Yeah.
our whole lives, but I've just noticed that a lot of popular people are just attractive, you know? Like they're prettier or they're, more good looking, and that's how they have more friends or how they're deemed more popular than other people.
I get that, but they don't even have more friends than the popular kids. Like they don't. For example, we have a bunch of friends outside of our group.
Mhm.
They are just one big group, and then they have no other friends really outside of that group. So I think that's what like being popular has been like popular kids in high school is like an inner circle, and no one is allowed to go in that
It's like
circle.
it's a little bit of a cult.
Cult like behavior.
Yeah.
I think it's just weird how like there are things that dictate whether you're popular or not.
Mhm.
Like you have to be attractive. You have to have somewhat like money
Like there's a criterion that you have to meet to
to
be.
be popular. And it's not
I
about
don't like
it's not about
that.
your friend count
It's
either.
I've okay, one time I heard from somebody else from our school. I honestly don't remember who, but I remember like every time there are new kids that come to school, like they will,
They get first dibs.
or not that they get first dibs, but they go out and actively seek them and like try to befriend them just because they look a certain way.
I know, it's like they like look for potentially popular people and then they
Right?
pick them.
Like, isn't that kind of
That
weird?
is weird.
It's like recruiting people.
I
It's like,
know.
like those, like, I don't know, Mormons that go out on mission trips and try to recruit people. I feel like it's like that.
And
Not for any Mormons listening, like, just a comparison, but.
no, there's definitely I don't know. Like I'm not saying like being popular is bad, but I think in a general public point of view, like there is a slight stigma with the term being popular. Like it's not really a like positive word to associate with
Yeah,
someone.
that's true. Yeah, it's kind of like a negative thing to be called popular.
Like I don't know. I just feel like the term popular and popular kids definitely already divides high school up, and
Mhm.
high school is already so like divided with like grades. Like even grades have a hierarchy. Like seniors
Mhm.
and juniors, the upperclassmen are deemed better than the underclassmen, and
Mhm.
that whole hierarchy of separating the school into little sections in order to maintain this social hierarchy, I think it's just weird.
I don't know. High school is kind of weird, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like high school is already so hard, and just making sure you also maintain a social hierarchy makes it even worse. Because now you have to worry about being socially accepted and also getting good grades.
Like that's hard.
It is. And there are so many things that kind of establish this hierarchy. For example, at our school, um, if you get into varsity level sports, you get like this thing called a red bag, which is literally just a red duffel bag that you carry around.
It's kind of like it's like a statement.
It
Statement piece
it
for your
literally is
uniform.
just a statement piece, right? And personally, I don't see anything really wrong with having a red bag if you make the team. Like, I get how it could be seen as like you're showing off for some reason. But I made IAS's dance, which is IAS's is our like kind of our term for varsity here at our school. So um, when I got my bag, I was not trying to show it off, but I was like proud in the moment. But I do get that having that bag does separate you from like other students.
Yeah, I'm not in a varsity sport, but I kind of can understand why people might feel bad if they don't have a bag and other people are just carried around school, but also some people really worked hard to get those red bags or to be on a varsity team. Like sometimes it takes a long time, like for competitive sports like basketball at our school in particular. Um, some boys and girls, like they worked for years to get on the team, and like so then in that case I get why red bags are important, but also I understand how people might be sensitive um to seeing those if they're not on a team, but I would rather people just carry it around because I don't really care.
I know, but I feel like I personally sometimes felt bad just
Why?
having it. Because I was like, oh, people are going to feel bad. Like, right after audition results, I was like, sometimes I just didn't want to carry it around because I didn't want other people to feel bad. Like, I think in high school, especially, showing off actual accomplishments is like a lot of people paint you as like, oh, he's just cocky, or oh, he's just like full of himself when you have the red bag, right? And I'm like, I mean, I did work really hard, but I don't want to seem this way to other people. So like sometimes I really just hate having it, which I don't know if it's a bad thing or not.
Well, I think you should own it.
Brr. No, but like for example, sports. Oh, we can talk about sports just like as a whole. Like that whole thing with like I feel like a lot of schools, not even just our school, emphasizes sports over like the arts or other clubs like that. And
They put, well, obviously, and you can get scholarships for sports,
that
and
is
not
true.
really many like scholarships for the arts, So there's already like just some people who do sports. Well, we have a friend who's really into a sport, and sometimes they put their sport before schoolwork, and then they justify, having because they do sports like all the time. They feel as though they can kind of not, like, sometimes justify not doing well in school. I don't know. I think that's kind of strange.
Like priorities. I feel like our priorities are really messed up in high school.
That's true.
Like
Also true.
like we say that grades aren't important, but they should be kind of up there for your future.
Yeah, they're like worth 75% of what college admissions are considering when they're looking at our resumes.
Yeah, so I think when people prioritize like making friends or hanging out with other people or, you know, doing sports. I think that there is an issue when you like forget what actually matters in the future, because high school is just high school.
Mm-hmm.
After you leave, after you graduate, everything that happened in high school gone. Like it really doesn't matter. It won't have an impact on you 25 years later. And I think a lot of people forget that high school is just a small part in your life. And I think that you have to, like, I don't know, I think that they just prioritize, some people prioritize the wrong things in high school.
Yeah. They're just not, I feel that people who do that don't really think about the future that much, you know?
They're more like, I gotta live it in the present. And
that's a good thing, you know, to live in the present, but then also you gotta, at some point you're gonna have to think.
Work for the future.
Yeah, sometime soon you're gonna have to be like, what am I gonna do later on? Because high school is not your whole life, unless you want to be like a janitor or something. But
nothing wrong with that.
Yep, nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just saying.
No, but see, there is also a problem with balancing it out. Like, remember last year for me, I put such a priority on grades that I just didn't want to hang out with anyone.
That is so true. That's so true. I attest to that.
I was just so focused on grades where it became an issue, but also if you don't focus on grades, that is also an issue.
Everything is an issue.
Everything is an issue in high school, so I think just finding the balance is so hard, and no one really helps you out with that except for like your friends.
Yeah, that's true. I find that sometimes I can't really rely on my teachers to help me with that. Well, actually, that's not true, because I email some of my teachers and they're really helpful. But, you know, some people that are actually there to help us, guide us through high school and make it easier for us, like our counselors, I find that sometimes it doesn't really help me at all.
I feel like it's honestly, like, I know that honestly, I don't even know if they're doing it, but I feel like they are trying their best to help, but I feel like a lot of adults
don't
have a disconnect with our generation.
It's understandable. It's just hard to
relate with us right now.
Yeah. And it's just hard because every time, like, we'll have seminars every year, and then it's just every time they say something, it's just really corny.
That is true. They try so hard
and
to relate to us.
I get their issues. Like, I know they're like really trying, but it just comes off in that kind of way.
Yeah, I think what is an issue is the fact that we can't really rely on our mentors or our teachers or our counselors to, like, we can't fully rely on them to help us out, because sometimes they just complicate it more for us and we get more stressed out. And I think that there is an issue with like the older generation and our generation, and finding a connection between the two.
Yeah, that's
in order
hard.
to help us out.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the main root issue, because we also, well, I mentioned just now that we have like seminars at school, and sometimes they have these, what is it, mental health seminars or whatever, and they just regurgitate all these statistics, and then also, guys, you have to like meditate for, I don't know, when you're about to do a test or something. I'm just like, that's just not very helpful. I mean, thank you for the effort, but yeah.
Like, I get what they're trying to do. It's just the execution is always poor.
Oh, I hope no one is seeing this.
Hi, counselors. We love you. We know that you're trying. It's just that sometimes I think it's just the delivery. Like students don't meditate. Students don't, like,
We're not really caring about the same stuff. We're definitely at different life stages.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. There are teachers and students are on whole separate life stages and whole different set of priorities where we're like, I can't, why would I do this?
I don't have time to meditate. I gotta study for
gotta
my
study,
test
yeah.
tomorrow.
And like, I think it's just so hard. I think it's hard to be a counselor too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of problems that you have to try to relate to. Oh, this is too much.
Issues everywhere.
And I don't know. I also think students also don't like reaching out, which is another issue we have.
Yeah. I feel like people at our school don't really like to tell other people when they're struggling. They just want to
They internalize.
and they just want to project a good image for everybody else. But you know, they only share when they have good grades, but not when they get bad grades and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think help, like seeking out help, is definitely an issue within our student body. I don't know if it's an issue like anywhere else, but like some counselors or teachers, like even going to your teachers and talking about your problems, like there is a stigma with seeking help, which I think there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like people say that you're weird if you go to your counselors to find help, and they're like why are you going to your counselors? I'm like, I don't know, maybe I need help. But like there's an issue with creating a stigma around finding help.
But then also, once you seek help, I find that I don't really get it.
See, it's all just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But I think it's just hard to figure out who you can rely on in high school. Like I know I can rely on you. I know I can rely on my friends. But if I need problems, like if I have serious
if you need some problems.
No. If I have serious issues that I need like adult help with, who do I go to? And if I say I need adult help to my friends are like, don't talk to the counselors. They're not going to help. So I think a lot of people with actual serious problems struggle to find like who to go to.
Because when you have like serious problems, you don't actually go to the high school counselor. You know, it's just kind of. Okay,
I
wait.
don't even know why you would go to the high school counselor. like what is the purpose for them?
Oh, at school we have a academic counselor. Yeah, we have two counselors. One of them is like an academics thing. They help us with, you know, our situation in school. And then there's our college counselor, who most of the upperclassmen rely on for, you know, looking like college transcript or well, like your high school transcript to help with college stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just help us through the college admissions process. Yeah, we don't know. I don't really know any. I don't know if any of my friends have really seen their PAC counselor, their academic counselor. I mean,
for anything but like, I need to change my class.
Yeah.
I need to change my schedule. So I feel like, especially in high school, there needs to be something to help with normalizing getting help. Because let's be honest, in high school, a lot of us need some sort of help, like mentally, like we need help with school, emotionally. There are so many issues with high school, and like there's no solution.
Yeah.
Which is also an issue.
Everybody knows there are issues, but nobody really talks
about it
or takes much action against it. And when there is like action taken, then nothing really changes. It is a vicious cycle.
It literally is just a cycle, and I think we just need to figure out a way to get out of it, because when we do try to talk about it, that just makes things worse. When we actually, like, when people try to do something about it and try to take action.
Some people just make fun of it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think there are just a lot of issues about high school that will be addressed, but will never be solved. Which is a sad way to end our episode today, but I don't know. I just think that's the harsh reality of things. So, like, we just got, as like a community, especially our school, we just need to work on figuring out how to actually take meaningful actions and not dilly-dally around.
Well, okay. Well, that's a good note to end on.
Kind of.
So, thank you guys for listening or tuning in. If you would like to be updated about the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at offtherails.pod. If you want to follow us personally, you can follow us at Natasha Roach and
Justin.tram with 2 T's in the Justin.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.